Hello there, it's Chris Warburton here. I'm the owner and founder of Truth Acquisition, and we have helped turn strangers into clients for consultancies, marketing agencies, and coaches for a few years now. And today, I'm going to be going over how to systemize and automate your entire business, okay? So you can focus on doing what you do best and what you love as well, which is changing your clients' lives. So first of all, what I'm going to do is just go over the basics. Okay, so some key systems fundamentals, because it's really important that you really understand the key principles and the fundamentals of systems, so that it makes it easier to automate, understand how systems work, so that you can scale your very own systems, and then of course automate all of the systems in your business and systemize everything in your business, so that you can do exactly what I said at the start, which is just focus on changing your clients' lives. Okay. And if you wanted to step away from your business and actually, have it run on autopilot while all you do is go on holidays and make money, you can also do that as well. But after working with so many of you guys, I know that the main thing you want to do is change people's lives, while making money in the process. So I know that that's not the case. A lot of you don't want to really step away from helping your clients, and that's completely fine. This gives you the freedom to choose and do whatever. Okay. So let's get straight into it. All right. So the key systems fundamentals. So we've got a function, inputs, processes, outputs, feedback, and the environment. So these are all things that make a successful system. Okay. So number one, we've got the function, and that is what the system does. Okay. Very obvious. Inputs. So inputs are stuff/information that we put into the system. Okay. So a lot of the time it is leads we're putting into the system. Processes. Okay. So processes are actions that change/process the inputs into outcomes. Outputs. These are the final results of the processes. Okay. So this is the outcome that we get after these inputs have been processed. Now we've got the feedback, okay? And this is basically information and which is data that can be used to improve the system. And depending on the system, well, it's not even dependent on the system. Feedback is we acquire data feedback from tracking every single point of the system, okay? And this is crucial, okay? So I speak to coaches, consultants, agency owners every single day that aren't even properly tracking or collecting data from their systems. It's absolutely wild. Okay. How do you expect to predictably scale your system if you're not even tracking your data effectively? You don't even know if your system is sustainable or not because you're not tracking your data. Okay. So this is so crucial. Environment. Okay. So this is where the system operates. In other words, this is your market or your niche. Okay. So let's say you're a realtor. Okay. You're in the real estate niche. So your system operates within the real estate market, the niche, okay? Now, I'm going to go over a little diagram now that this is a very simple diagram of systems, okay? Systems get a lot more complex than this, okay? But this is just something really simplified, and it really helps you understand everything, okay? And with our system specifically, we have streamlined them so much that they are very simple. There's obviously more things to them, but this is the basics of, a system. Okay, so we've got the environment here. So this is the market or the niche that you operate in. And then we've got the inputs, which could be leads, it could be information, whatever it is. And these inputs or leads, this data that we put into the system gets processed, okay, through our processes. And then the output of that is, of course, the outcome from the inputs getting processed. And then throughout this whole process, this whole system, we are collecting the feedback, okay? We're tracking, okay? We're collecting data. And we are using this feedback to then iterate and improve our system as a whole so that it's just getting better and better, okay? By continually tracking everything, even when even when our system is in KPI, okay, which means our system, it's where we want it to be, okay, it's hitting the goalpost that we've set. Even once it's in KPI and we're hitting what we need to hit, you will still continually track, okay, because markets, okay, the environment is ever changing, okay. So a few years down the line, your system, although it could have been a year ago absolutely hammering out leads and being incredible, because markets are ever changing, your system will change as well. So we need to continually track so that we can see if any bottlenecks in the system start to appear, and then we can iterate and improve and fix those bottlenecks to keep this system continually flowing out clients for us. Okay. Now, this here is a little diagram of an email system. Okay, very basic. You know, there's obviously, especially with ours, we've got AIs and things like that. There's a lot more to our email systems than this, but this is something that's just going to help you really understand and simplify things. Okay, but we're making it very basic so you understand it all. So we've got our inputs, which are leads. Okay, and here we've got our processes. So we've got multiple subsystems within this one system. Okay, this one appointment booking system. We've got 4 different processes. So the leads inputs go into the system, okay, and they first process through the automated sending software. Within the automated sending software, we've got a prime domain, we've got an email, and then these emails send out 25 emails each per day. So inputs information going into the system. They are then getting processed within this system, okay? And then these 25 emails each that are getting sent out per day are then converting into 2 to 3 booked appointments per day. So these are the outcomes of the system, okay? The outputs, right? So this is obviously a very simplified version. You know, most people's email systems, if they're just sending out these, they're not going to get 2 to 3 booked appointments per day. You need certain emails, certain AIs that are going to help personalize and really refine your outreach process to get a good amount. But like I said, this is just an example. Now, once these inputs are getting processed and turned into outputs, we've got the tracking and the collection of data that is going on throughout this whole process. So as you can see, every single part of the system, okay, is getting tracked. So we are collecting the feedback from every single point, from the leads, the automated sending software, the prime domains, the emails, everything is getting tracked. Even when we book an appointment, we're of course going to track that as well. And then we can use all of this feedback here to find out where in our system if there's a bottleneck, or if there's not a bottleneck, we can see where we can improve in the system. And if we want to improve the system, but we're already in KPI, okay? So KPI would be for this. We're hitting 2 to 3 appointments per day. That means we'd be in KPI in this case. You know, we're getting a good amount of appointments through this. But through the testing and feedback, we find out that something could be improved. Let's say in the automated sending software, the scripts maybe, let's say that something could be improved. We would then duplicate this whole system, okay? So this system right here, let's just quickly duplicate this, all right? We duplicate that, all right? So we've got this one that's continuing to make us appointments, all right? And then we've got another one which we duplicate and then test a different version of that. Let's say we're doing a different version of the script. We'll then test a different version of the script. And the reason that we duplicate it and we don't actually go ahead and, change on here is because this system is already in KPI. And if we were to change something even as small as like maybe a few words in the script, we might not actually, we might ruin our whole system just from that. So we could go from 2 to 3 booked appointments today to 0 or 1 booked appointment per day. So just by us trying to iterate and improve our system, we could completely ruin the system and stop our lead flow coming into our business, which is, of course, our money. It's our The lifeblood of our business is leads and clients, okay? So we don't want to jeopardize that at all. At all costs, we want to minimize that risk. So that's why we duplicate this whole system and we test it separately and try a new version instead, okay? Very, very important. Now, when we do hit KPIs, within our system, okay, so in this case, 2 to 3 booked appointments per day for all of these that are going to send out. So it's like 225 emails per day, I believe. We're in KPI there, okay. So once we're in KPI, we've got a proof of concept, which is a proof that our system works. We can then scale up the system. And to scale up the system, it's as simple as putting more leads or inputs into the system. And then, of course, processes. We need to make sure that our processes are actually going to be able to handle more inputs, okay? It needs to be able to handle more leads. So we need to ensure that our processes are primed for scale. Once this happens, the outputs, of course, are more booked appointments. And there's other things that we need to think about when we are going to scale our systems as well, such as getting more sales reps on board so that we can actually handle more booked appointments per day. So we need SOPs, which is standard operating procedures on how to effectively book and sign effectively sign sales reps, and not just that, sales reps that are actually going to do good for our business, right? So this feedback also allows us, throughout this process, we can continue to track the feedback, okay? And that's going to make sure that, as we scale, we can monitor and make sure that the system isn't breaking down. Because sometimes when we scale systems, at certain points, certain things in the system can break down, maybe certain processes. So it's crucial that throughout this whole process, we are also tracking and collecting that feedback and monitoring it very closely, okay, as we scale. Now, we can automate things even further, okay, because, this is great from the start. You're having to do all of this, but it's extra work that you don't need to do. So we can then start to look at automating, okay? Now, here we've got the automated sending software, so that's already automated, okay? But what we can do is introduce other AIs and softwares that automate the process even further, okay? So that we don't have to monitor, we don't have to reply to the emails. If people don't just go ahead and book, they might reply to an email instead, and we need to nurture that and convert that into an actual appointment, okay? So what we would do in that case is either automate further with AI and do autoresponders, or we could get an SOP for hiring VAs, okay, that, they're not going to be a lot of money to actually automate this system, but they're going to be effective and do what we need them to do. So we can automate more of the processes with VAs. The leads themselves, we can also automate with VAs and also AI. So that once we've done that, we've automated every single part of the business, from the inputs to the processes, to the outputs as well. So the outputs would be, to automate that, we would be having sales reps who are going to convert these appointments into clients for us. So that this whole process from turning a stranger into a client is completely automated. So that the only thing that we actually have to focus on is, turning or fulfilling our clients' lives, okay? So if you're a coach or a life coach, then of course your main job is to help your client have a better life, okay? If you're a marketing agency, your job is to also help your client have a better life by maybe bringing them more business, more clients into their business. If you're a consultant, the exact same thing, okay? So once we automate everything, and this runs, completely on autopilot, we can then look at scaling our business in other ways and start hitting those 100K per month. So this is a very simplified version of how to systemize and automate your entire business, okay? And this is also just one little idea on how you actually systemize your business, which is the appointment booking and the sales. There's other complexities and things, it may not, you might have tried it before to scale your business and it appears to not be that simple. there is ways you can make it a lot simpler. In our program, we have SOPs for everything, okay, which is standard operating procedures. So that whenever you get to a certain stage of needing to automate your business, there's already a guide on how to do it. Okay, you literally just have to follow these steps, and your business is automated. Right. Of course, you can run into obstacles and things like that, which is what our consultants are there for. But really, the gist of it is just finding out ways to automate certain things. So we've already got a system here. Okay. A lot of coaches, agency owners, they don't really have any consistent, predictable systems that actually turn leads into clients. Okay. Which is a big, big problem. Okay. If you've not got an actual system, a proof of concept, so a proof that system works, I don't know how you expect to actually grow your business predictably or consistently. But this is what you need to do. You need a system in place, and you need to then automate that system. And this system also needs to be scalable. Okay. So you need to actually be able to put more inputs into the system so that, the more outputs are appointments booked. Now, there's also other things in your business that you can streamline and automate, whether it's your coaching model, okay, the way that you actually, help your clients change their lives, whatever it is, whatever problem you're solving for your clients. There's ways we can streamline the way that you coach, consult, consult them so that you can actually solve their problem. There's also ways for onboarding where we can automate and streamline that as well. And then also, finally, automate the entire business so that you don't really need to do much. Okay. Obviously, you probably do as a business owner. It's something you're passionate about. You probably always want to have a role in your business and a watchful eye over your business. And you can have exactly that. You could literally just be checking in, making sure certain staff members are hitting KPIs, doing those kind of things. But you can literally get it to a point where your whole business is automated so that you don't even need to worry about anything. Okay. Your business is just printing your money. You're changing as many lives as possible. And yeah, you sorted. So that's all from me today. This is a very simplified version of, systems and automation. But to be honest, when you look at it and when you get down to the key fundamentals and the principles of systemizing and automating your business, it is simple. It's simple. Okay. There's obviously more complexity to come with that. It can be hard in some cases for certain people. But with the right guidance and expertise, it's simple and easy. Okay. So thank you for watching. And yeah, there's going to be plenty more of these videos. We're going to get some more masterclasses out soon. And that's all from me. Enjoy your day and all the best.